Hi guys, hello Soul Family. Okay, my name's Aaron Michael. I'm an American state national and living on the soil and land jurisdiction of Nevada. Okay, that's going to make a little bit more sense when I explain it later, but that's just to give you a bit of understanding what the title is become actually sovereign. Okay, so just before we get started, I want to explain the handle, which is the White Stag, and why I chose that. It basically is a mythical creature from England, and it only ever appears when a code or law has been broken. And unfortunately, lots of laws and lots of codes have been broken towards the living people of this world. So I thought it was quite fitting that I just use that and help spread some truth and hopefully empower some people. This is pretty new, talking on camera, so bear with me. I'm going to try and keep it nice and simple, and hopefully you guys can walk away learning something. And then we'll try and do a few more because I've had some requests for this type of thing. So if we can keep it going, and then hopefully it won't be so overwhelming, because a lot of the feedback I get when I send people to different websites and start researching is very overwhelming. And I get it. Yeah. To start off with, it is extremely overwhelming, and I guess it's kind of because of how we've been indoctrinated in the system. We're coming from millennia of slavery. Um, you might think you're free, but on paper, it definitely says otherwise. Uh, so I'll get more into that later, and the technicalities of how they do that type of thing to us without us really knowing. So just try and keep an open mind, and if it resonates with you, then great, we're on the right track. If it doesn't, then just breathe deeply, because whether you believe this or not, everyone in this world is going to have to go through this process. It's the only way forward to restructure everything right now, so that we can become communities of self-governing living people. Okay, where we're in charge of ourselves. We say what happens, not someone of authority. Okay, there's no authority where we're moving forward, especially into 5D. No authority. Okay, so you need to take responsibility of where you currently are, and then make those steps to actually move forward. All right. The first thing I want to kind of cover is what is sovereign. Okay, sovereign is free. There's in every essence freedom. Okay, a citizen is not free. Okay, a citizen, if you look up in the dictionary, it basically means of service, essentially a slave. So if you are a citizen of a country, um, you're not sovereign, and you're not free, and you don't have as many rights as you think you do. One of the biggest illusions they've actually created, and when I talk about they, is like the dark ones. Um, the biggest illusion they've actually created is having you believe you actually have all the rights they say you do. And when it comes to constitutions and things like that, and it's like, well, you're protected by the constitutions. Well, only if you are living people. If you're living man or woman, that's the only time you're protected by them. And for the majority of people who think that they are living, on paper they're actually not. Okay, um, so that being said, first thing I want to cover is how what is the actual, when it comes down to it, what is the core um, two things you have to give public notice to actually affirm that you're sovereign. Okay, the first thing you have to do is basically publicly declare that you're a living man or woman. And yes, so whatever country that you're in, it's going to vary just a little bit. In America, we have a much more structured system that completes this, and it's much more detailed than other countries like Canada and Australia. I specifically know a little bit more about them because I am from Australia. I moved here to Nevada 10 years ago. So you kind of have to study the whole world because it's the same system all over the world. It's just how you get out of it is varies from country to country just a little bit. But essentially, when it comes down to it, the two things: claim that you're a living man or woman. That's one first thing. Second thing is you have to say that you're now living on the land and soil jurisdiction. So living on the land, affirming that that is the case, because when that happens, now you step into the world of common law, which is in its essence being sovereign. Okay, what is common law? It's natural law, it's land law, and it's the law that is universal for every living man and woman on this earth, and it trumps every other law, and that's all you really have to know about this at this stage. I think in later videos I'll talk about jurisdiction, but just know that common law and soil and land jurisdiction go hand in hand, and that's where you want to plant yourself in that land, soil jurisdiction, so then you have all the rights to stand up for yourself. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Okay, so next thing I want to talk about is our governments. Okay, first and foremost, if you haven't noticed there's something wrong with the governments, then you're probably asleep, and you should probably wake up and then rewatch this video. I'm kidding a little bit, and the next thing I need to tell you is everything that you've been maybe using to help change your future when it comes to government probably hasn't worked out up to this point, and there's a reason for that. Okay, now hang on to your seats. Basically, the government is not our government, and it doesn't matter which country you're in. They're actually foreign corporations. Yeah, I'm gonna let that sink in. That was a hard one for me to swallow too. Basically, they're foreign corporations acting as our governments with the same name as we would assume our governments would have. Okay, so what they're basically doing is they're making you either an employee or a dependent or a slave of their corporation, so they can impose their so-called laws, but more specifically codes, statutes, legislations onto you, so they can basically steal all your credit and keep you in debt generationally. So by claiming you're living and you're on the soil and land jurisdiction, you're actually taking yourself away from under their umbrella, I guess. In the eyes of the government, we're all perceived as independents, okay? Specifically minors, and this is the nicer way of explaining it. But like being an adult, you're a minor, your children are minors, and so they're in charge of everything. And essentially, that makes them the powers of attorney of you, your body, your estate. And the situation that really puts you in was really my motivation to get this done quickly. Okay, so I basically have a 2-year-old daughter, just to give you an example. And if there's something that the government doesn't like with regards to how I raise my daughter, they have every right to take your child off you. So essentially, you don't really own your child, which is a lot to handle for most people who are parents. I get it. But unless you correct your status and become truly sovereign and claim you're living man or woman on the soil and land jurisdiction, they actually have every right to take your child off you. There's nothing you can really do. And it's all due to the birth certificate and a few other things, but I'm going to get more into that later. But I just wanted to really express the severity of the situation you're in, and I think that really helps do that, because that was a massive motivation, because no government is going to take my child away from me type thing, you know what I mean? So I just want to share that personal little experience to that situation. So that being said, If you have any comments or comments or questions, yeah, please put them in the comment box below, and I'll try and answer them next time. I'm also gonna post in the description links for different countries, specifically Australia, Canada, and America. Basically, how to start your journey of understanding truly what this is and creating more freedom and more sovereignty for yourself. I hope that helps a little bit. So I guess like, share, and subscribe. I think that's what you say. And yeah, I look forward to coming back and explain a little bit more detail some future topics regarding this and how you become more free. So many blessings, and I will talk to you guys soon.